From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. More details have been released in yesterday's home invasion and murder case. According to an affidavit, Matthew Davis sent threatening texts to a woman and then broke into the home she was in. The woman hid with her daughter in a closet until it was safe to phone police. John Adam Chilcote, who was in the home with the woman, was fatally shot. Davis allegedly left the residence and phoned his brother, who in turn notified law enforcement of the murder. A search of Davis's vehicle revealed a 9mm handgun and ammunition that matched what was found at the scene. During the interview about the incident, troopers said Davis smelled of alcohol. Davis is charged with murder and first-degree burglary. He is being held without bail at Fbx Correctional Center. Trial wrapped up this afternoon in Superior Court for the Fairbanks man accused of attempted murder, felony assault, and kidnapping. 54-year-old Norman Beverly has been on trial for nearly 2 weeks and, if convicted, could spend up to 99 years in jail. Today, closing arguments were made to the jury of 10 women and 4 men. Beverly allegedly shot his girlfriend, Tamarian White, in the face, beat her, and held her captive. Almost 20 people have taken the stand. The defense has argued that Beverly, who was stabbed multiple times by White, was actually the victim in the case. The prosecution told the jury that it was a tumultuous relationship and that Beverly clearly wanted White dead.
We said, as a passing comment, I want to kill her. People say they want to kill somebody every day, no doubt. And what did she say he did? He looked down, he appeared to be in thought, and he turned to her and he picked up the gun. Shot.
The U.S. Army is considering a number of ways to meet its end-strength goal of downsizing from a wartime peak of 150,000 soldiers by 2019. 30 installations across the country are being evaluated for potential reductions. That list of installations includes Fort Wainwright, which is facing the potential loss of 5,800 soldiers and Department of Army civilian employees. DA officials will hold a listening session next Tuesday evening starting at 5:30 at the Carlson Center. Borough Mayor Luke Hopkins says that when you add in military spouses and other dependents, the borough could be losing upwards of 10,000 residents. The Interior is competing with 29 other military communities to be spared the loss of troops. Hopkins says the force reduction would have a greater impact here than it would at other installations close to major metropolitan areas.
That means individuals, that means businesses, that means schools, families that interact with the base, and the base interacts with us. Even more of a significant piece in our community, I say, than you do at the Fort Knox or the Fort Bragg. Again, we're 365 miles from the next major community. You take out that many people, you have a pretty big hole, not only in our community, but also in what the Army's strategic value is in the state of Alaska.
The Carlson Center was a sea of red today, and for good reason. It was a celebration of the Go Red for Women national campaign. Locally, the American Red Cross, as part of their mission of informing women about the high risk of health dangers due to heart disease, transformed the arena into a festive but serious presentation. The main speaker was Allie Vincent, a once nationally recognized swimmer who had watched her weight increase to the levels of obesity. But her efforts on the nationally televised show The Biggest Loser saw her lose a record 112 pounds in a 6-month period. Now she travels across the country telling audiences the secret to losing weight. Allie says it's not all about food, it's about your attitude.
Yeah, ever since I was on The Biggest Loser, one of the biggest things that I wanted to do was kind of like live life to the fullest and really travel around the country, because a lot of people I found were judging their experience at home with our experience on The Biggest Loser, and I was like, you know what the secret is? The secret is that there is no secret. The secret is open your eyes, be aware, and live life to the fullest. Find out what's available in your community.
All right, when we come back, the Literacy Council of Alaska had their annual Biz-Bee spelling bee last night, and there were some interesting results. Now, also earlier this week, the Science in Alaska featured satellites and how they play a role in weather forecasting for Alaska. Those stories are next. Stay with us. Welcome back. A Nenana man was in court this afternoon facing multiple counts of sexual abuse of a minor. 32-year-old Kevin Talyet of Nenana was arraigned on 6 different counts. Now, according to court documents, the abuse occurred between February of 2011 and sometime last year. Talyet allegedly abused the victim under the age of 13 and later a minor between the ages of 13 and 15. Court documents also allege that Talia solicited sex from a minor. He is currently being held on a no bail status. A Venati teenager is being held at the Fairbanks Correctional Center facing felony charges after authorities say he attempted to set fire to a home. 18-year-old Enoch John is charged with first-degree attempted arson and first-degree burglary in the February 17th incident. According to an affidavit, John kicked in the door to a home, pulled out the insulation, and set it on fire. Luckily, the residents were able to find the fire before it spread. John told troopers he was coerced by another man he had been drinking with to break into the home and get cigarettes and food. Now John is being held without bail. The Fbx were the winners of last night's spelling contest at the Westmark Fairbanks Hotel. That team was fielded by the Literacy Council of Alaska, the very agency that the fundraiser benefits. It was the 23rd annual BizBee, which had 16 teams competing. The winning team was made up of Heather Moritz, Denise Lacklear, and Jackie Stormer. The winning word, Lomi Lomi, which means Hawaiian massage. The Literacy Council on Gaffney Road provides education programs for adults and children.
The Literacy Council has been around for almost 40 years in interior Alaska, and we work with English language learning adults. So we have adult education programs, and then we also have school-age programs where kids can be tutored, or where we can do programs at low-income housing and working with other children in the community, helping to provide educational services.
We'll have more about what the Literacy Council does on the Saturday edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. For the first time in the almost 40-year history of the Village Public Safety Officer Program, 10 VPSOs will start the 15-week Alaska law enforcement training in Sitka on Sunday alongside state and municipal officers. 3 of them are from the Tanana Chiefs Conference. Most municipal law enforcement agencies send their police recruits through ALET at the Public Safety Training Academy. VPSOs will receive more than 900 hours of training on topics that are necessary to receive certification by the Alaska Police Standards Council. Those graduating ALET on June 5th will not be immediately certified to carry firearms in their course of duties. That certification comes from a separate training.
There was a legislation that changed the state statutes to allow VPSOs to be armed. That's down the road. They're just getting basic tools and information in order to do their job as VPSOs. And then down the road in a year, if their employer and the VPSO agree, they can have the opportunity to be armed.
The weather was discussed in detail at the Science for Alaska lecture series earlier this week. Eric Stevens, science liaison for the University of Alaska Fairbanks and the National Weather Service, talked about weather satellites and how they help give an accurate forecast. Now, Stevens said without them, people would not have been able to prepare for natural disasters like Hurricane Sandy. The lecture series is a public outreach effort put on by the Geophysical Institute up at UAF. Some of the audience members we spoke to said they left with a greater appreciation of the pictures and data that satellites provide.
I was amazed at how much data there is about all these different types of phenomena across Alaska. So you could see aurora borealis, northern lights, you could see fires, you could see sea ice, temperatures, changes in the clouds versus the sea.
The presenter gave a pretty energetic presentation on a topic that most people might find a little boring.
How he contrasted using the visible and the IR band to look at clouds or air temperature was really interesting.
Coming up, the Nanox rifle team prepares for Saturday's NCAA qualifiers. Plus, you'll see something that you may want in your backyard. Joe Cook will explain in sports after the break.
Welcome back, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here to get your weekend started right with your local Friday sports. Now this Saturday, the Nanox rifle team will be in the E.F. Horton rifle range for the NCAA qualifiers. The Fighting Engineers of Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology is a Division III rifle program out of Terre Haute, Indiana. They will be shooting against the Nooks. Every team in the country will be shooting on Saturday. The top 3 scores from different sites in the regular season are averaged up, then added to this weekend's scores to determine the top 8 teams for nationals. It's another important match for the second-ranked Nanox, but they like the pressure.
Every time we need to step up and do a big score, we do. It's just how our team works. Every single one of us is capable of good, solid scores, and we put them up when we want to and need to.
You're coming in, you know what you have to get done. there's a goal. We all have the same common goal, is to win a national championship. So you got to produce to be successful here.
After 2 days in the pool in the Pacific Collegiate Swimming and Diving Championships, the Nanics sit in 6th place. Freshman Martha Hood helped the cause, finishing 3rd in the 50 freestyle. Her time in 23.45 seconds made her all-conference. The 200 freestyle relay team of Hood, Margot, and Victoria Adams and Daniel Lyons, they placed 4th. UC San Diego and Loyola Marymount are the top 2 teams in the point standings after 2 days. All Nanick swimmers placed no less than 17th on Thursday. Conference continues today and wraps up on Saturday in La Mirada, California. Both the UAF basketball teams lost in road GNAC tilts on Thursday. Western Washington, they scored 25 points over 22 UAF turnovers in the women's game. The Vikings, they won 91-60. Stephanie Tombson had 15 and 7 to lead the Nooks. Jordan Wilson scored 10 points in 20 minutes in her first game back from an injury. UAF is 1 game out of postseason play with 3 games left. The men's team, they lost 67-59 to Northwest Nazarene. The Crusaders never trailed. Kevin Reimer out of Hutch had 11 and 4 for the Crusaders. UAF's Alex Duncan, he scored a game high and career high 18 points. The women, they face Simon Fraser, and the men, they will play Central Washington on Saturday. After Thursday's races in Kincaid Park, the West Valley Wolfpack are in the top 10 at the ASAA State Nordic Skiing Championships. The boys are 4th, and the girls are 8th to lead interior teams. Senior Max Donaldson of West Valley, trying to three-peat at Ski Meister, took 2nd in the 7.5K Classic with a time of 20 minutes, 44.4 seconds using the double pole technique. Jenna DeFalco led the interior girls, placing 11th overall in 15:52.3 in the girls 5K Classic. Today will be the girls 7.5K and the boys 10K freestyle races. Saturday, the championships conclude with the relays. In high school basketball, Lathrop suffered their 2nd straight loss, this time down in Anchorage. The Lathrop boys were up a deuce in the final 2 minutes, but East Anchorage, they rallied for a 66-61 win. Desmond Johnson scored a game-high 27 points for East. Curtis White Jr., he had a season-high 20 points for Lathrop. East would get the sweep as the Lady T-Birds defeated Lathrop 77-52. Jana Hadukovic had a game-high 15 points for the Mutes. Lathrop will play Palmer tonight, and they will wrap up their roadie at Wasilla on Saturday. This morning at Hunter Elementary, the students got a chance to participate in Hockey Week in Fairbanks in a very colorful way. Today is wear your favorite hockey jersey to school and work day. The kids not only sported their favorite local professional hockey players' jerseys, they even got in a game of floor hockey or 2 with the Alaska Nanics against the teachers. They teamed up to take down their teachers there. Needless to say, the kids were thrilled to slap around some floor pucks with the Nooks. There could be some future Nooks and girls hockey players out of this bunch.
Well, some of these kids play on hockey teams here in the area already, and who knows what their future holds. I think they're going to do pretty well.
Now imagine as a kid or even an adult that after school you come home to something like this in your backyard. This is the backyard of Gene Sager's home. It's the 4th year he's built an ice rink so his 3 kids and the neighborhood kids can skate and play some hockey. The rink is even complete with theater seats. It's well lit and has hockey sticks greeting you at the entrance. There's even a fire nearby for those chilly outdoor night games. Sager's creation won this year's Hockey Week in Fairbanks Award for Best Backyard Rink. He explains why he built it.
To get the kids out of my hair. No, I thought it'd be a good place for the kids to get some good exercise in the middle of winter since things are so hard to come by around here as far as outdoor activities. And right out the back door seemed like a great spot. It is great. I love the fact that everyone gets involved so much with Hockey Week, and I'm just trying to help promote things and get more kids involved in the sport.
Pretty neat. And you, the people, the interior sports fans, voted and commented, and now here's your play of the week. It's fitting senior and assistant captain Garrett Perry scores the game-winning goal against the #1 Minnesota State Mavericks last Saturday night. It was also senior night, a huge 3-1 win for Alaska in their last home game of the season. The Nooks get the series win 1-0-1 and the season series victory 2-1-1 over the #1 Mavs, the only team in the WCHA to do that. To pick the next play of the week, watch the I-5 Interior Top 5 plays on Mondays during the weekend recap. And the last note, the IYB Little Dribbler Skills Assessment is tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. at Nordale Elementary. And that's it for sports. Weather is next, and we'll catch you next time.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back into a Friday edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. Mike Schultz with you once again talking about weather. And it could be near 40 degrees tomorrow. Can you believe that? Maybe the same on Sunday. We might even see a little mixed rain and snow. Isn't that sloppy? I'm not real joyous about this, but I'm just kind of in awe of the temperatures. Like a week ago, we were looking at 30 below. Our photograph for tonight, this is sent in by AK Sweets 65. I don't know if he goes by that name or not, but it's interesting. A triple sundog. Look at that. 1, 2, and 3. You don't see that very often, but boy, the conditions were perfect for him to get that. And as always, if you have a photograph to share, by all means, send it to us at photos@ktbf11.com. Here's your numbers on the almanac. 16 degrees currently. That's our high for the day. The low last night, 2. Record high 41 in 2008, 51 below in 1937. Sunrise and sunset 9 hours and 13 minutes. A gain of 6 minutes from yesterday. On the satellite and radar, again, more moisture starting to flow in from the west and the southwest. That's a better direction for us to get any high precipitation in here. As you can see, a lot of pink frozen area down there. That's where all the, like I said, frozen precipitation is at. Otherwise, the blue indicating where the rain is at. On the map, things are drying out over southeast Alaska, and not too bad, 37 degrees at Ketchikan, while over the south central sections, we're looking at Kodiak, 42 degrees, a little rain and snow there. Cloudy skies at Anchorage, some rain along the Aleutian chain at Cold Bay, 42 and 32 with partly cloudy skies in Nome, 4 below at Barrow, and Fort Yukon at 9 degrees above. Lower 48 weather, well, over the Pacific Northwest and the West Coast in general, things looking pretty good once again. Warming up over Denver, 52 degrees there. Dallas, some rain and 70. Warming up finally in Minneapolis, 25 degrees. The same in Chicago, 18. Still some snow over the northeast on the satellite and radar. The jet stream is starting to wilt a little bit to the north. That's helping to bring a little bit warmer temperatures in from the south. Still some areas of light snow being reported here and there, but no real organized systems. And the overall jet stream calling for later on this, well, actually early next week, again, the jet stream will be once again pulling cold air in from the north, but not quite as cold except across the Great Lakes, warm up and down the west coast. All right, back to Alaska for tomorrow in the northern sections. Here's what looks like scattered flurries for Barrow. Freezing rain advisory for Nome, decreasing clouds for Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, we'll start off pretty good, cloudy skies, then possibly some snow and rain developing by the afternoon, and strong winds are likely in the passes. Keep that in mind, gusting as high as 55 miles an hour. In the southeast, decreasing clouds and diminishing showers for Juneau, mostly sunny skies for Ketchikan, while over the southwest part of the state, showers for Cold Bay, wind and rain for Kodiak, and rain for Bethel. And if you're heading on down to the Anchorage area, take an umbrella because periods of rain are expected at Anchorage, showers in Homer, and heavy rain for Valdez. Okay, time once again for our kids' weather as we wrap up our week with another weather fact for you. In 1953, Nebraska and Iowa were hit by a massive snowstorm that caused snow drifts 10 feet high and derailed some railroad cars there. Okay, Mount McKinley Bank, thanks for sponsoring our kids' weather. And of course, next week we'll be back with the kids from Weller Elementary School. And real quickly, our winter trails report for tonight. Abnormally high temperatures will make it a great weekend for all outdoor activities, but it could get sloppy with rain and snow on Sunday, so be careful with cross-country trails and watch out for rod and ice on the ponds and the rivers. And real quickly, our road conditions, you can see icy patches, packed snow and drifting snow on the Dalton and Elliott highways, while the Steeps-Richardson Highway, snow on the roadway, black ice, icy patches, and the Parks Highway, gusty winds in the passes and slick roads with rain and snow. Here's your forecast for tonight, and looking at 11 degrees, partly cloudy skies, warmer temperatures. Tomorrow's forecast, 39, cloudy with rain and snow possible by evening, and the extended forecast, temperatures continuing very mild for this time of year. And maybe there's, again, a chance of a little snow on Sunday and Monday with overnight lows. Once again, looking at very mild conditions, near 20 degrees. How about that? And you did a good job with the weather last night, kiddo. As I was at the Bisbee spelling thing, so that was good.
Even though I wasn't here. But
yes, that's good. I'm glad. Yeah. I really dread doing weather when you're gone. Don't get mad at me. That's what I always say.
And a big, good job for the folks today with the Go Red.
Very good.
What do you call it? Not concert, but presentation, luncheon. Yeah. It was really amazing, really amazing.
It
Good
really
job.
Was.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you, Mike. That'll wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Lighting News, a dramatic fire in one of the high-rise towers in the Dubai. That's next with Lester Holt.
Be sure to tune in tomorrow night for the Interior's only news and sportscast at 6 and 11. Going to introduce a new somebody there, so tune in tomorrow.
Okay. From all of us here at the News Center, have a good weekend.
Good night.